I'm here today with Alison, the owner of all 3 SupperWorks locations in Ottawa. And so Alison, tell me a little bit about SupperWorks. What is SupperWorks?
What is SupperWorks? So we help busy people eat well. That is our tagline, and it really encompasses all that we do. SupperWorks is a Canadian franchise, and we are lucky enough to have 3 in Ottawa, so in Nepean and Canada and New Orleans. And a little bit of info about the franchise. It was started way back in 2010 by 2 mom entrepreneurs in Oakville. And the reason they were looking for a solution to dinner time sort of chaos. So they had young families, and they saw it actually on Oprah Winfrey, the meal assembly idea. So there was a franchise established in the U.S., and so they went down to visit them and tried to say, we'd like to be a Canadian franchisee. They didn't really want to come into Canada, so they're like, we'll do it ourselves. So they opened the Oakville store, and that was the start of SupperWorks. And now we've branched into 9 different locations across Ontario, and still all women owned. All franchisees are women. Just happens. And so I mean, we're that meal assembly solution with a storefront that you can come in, build your meals. We do all the shopping prep work, and clean up after. So you can be involved in a session, or you can have us prepare it and you pick it up, or we can prepare it and even deliver it.
That sounds amazing. Who couldn't use a little bit of help with their dinner time?
Yeah, right.
And so what made you decide to get started with SupperWorks?
Well, I actually was a customer of SupperWorks here in Orleans. So when I was working full time, a friend of mine suggested, let's go and make some meals. So it was sort of in the first few years of Orleans being open. And we came for likely a good year, coming, visiting each other while we prepared meals. And she was sort of at me going, you have the background, you have a food service background, what about looking into this? So anyway, one day I just sort of went, okay, I'm going to call the head office. So I called and said, how do you go about opening a SupperWorks? And at that time, there was only the Canada and Orleans locations. So there was no location serving that middle part of the pie of Ottawa, sort of the south end, and that's where we do live. So I said, let's start down the road. So it was an interview. You know, you're interviewed just like a job, but you're the franchisee. And we took on the Nepean location. So in November 2012, we opened the Nepean location, and been running ever since. And it's a real fun business to be in. You're helping people solve a solution, like you're creating a solution, helping them solve a problem of the dilemma of eating at home and eating something good. So so then I was fortunate enough to become involved in the franchise for a good 5 years, and was able to purchase the Orleans location and then also the Canada location. So you know, my background has been food service, and this is sort of bringing it all together and really enjoying it.
Absolutely. That's amazing. You're making such a difference in the lives of so many people, because absolutely, and I see this all the time, people don't have time to cook from scratch.
They don't. Yeah, and ideas are so hard to come by, and we're all just stressed and running around, and on the drive home just thinking about what are we going to eat. And you know, this solves that problem, and we get to know our customers. They do become, it sounds a little cheesy, they become family, but they do. You know, when they're in preparing their meals, we're finding out if their son or daughter are graduating, or they're having a new baby, or they're retiring, or so we get to know in that hour of time that they're here with us in the store. We get to know them well, and we look forward to seeing them each month too.
It's like their kitchen away from home.
Their kitchen away from home, with all of our kitchen fairies cleaning up behind them.
Oh, I wish I had a kitchen fairy at home. Maybe I'll take that portion of it back home with me.
Exactly.
That's an amazing story. And so how do you juggle that work-life balance of, you're a mom as well, and now you own 3 of these franchises.
Yeah.
So how does that look like for you?
So I have a very supportive family, and luckily my husband's not a 9-to-5 job person, so he is a firefighter and has shift work. So luckily he's at home when kids are coming home or heading off to school, so we balance that out. We use a lot of SupperWorks meals ourselves to keep going, and and eventually, actually, my son has worked a few shifts in the Nepean location, so they're getting involved in the business too. So Yeah, it does encompass you know, it is part of you and part of your life, but I also have great staff and a great support that way, so I know we make it all work.
That's amazing. And so next we're going to talk about what kind of problems can SupperWorks solve for you.